Greetings, deep, intense, complex Scorpio. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and tarot card reader. And now I'm going to do the October 2020 forecast for the sign of Scorpio. And I'm going to start with the tarot reading. And in the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about some of the planetary transits. I'm just going to touch on the transits. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram at astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole, where I will do more daily updates in my stories and weekly updates on my feed about the planetary transits. The October sky is super dynamic. There's a lot going on, so if I went through all the transits in this video, it would be an hour for each video. So trying to keep it a little bit more concise this month. As we enter the month of October, Scorpio, you have the Knight of Cups reversed. So this is a man who is out of alignment romantically. And this is the Eight of Swords reversed. This is about liberation, freedom. And it's crossed by the Page of Pentacles. So this is a new opportunity in October. And the basis is the King of Pentacles. So this has to do with a man and business and finance. What's leaving is the Five of Pentacles reversed, a time of healing from a spiritual or financial setback. What could come into being around mid-month. It looks like you were standing your ground, maintaining your footing in the face of a lot of energy coming your way. What will come into being, also around mid-month, we see a woman who is looking very emotional, and this could have to do with the romantic realm. She could be falling out of love, or she could be obsessing about love, something like this. Fears or insecurities, the Ten of Pentacles reversed. So this has to do with boundaries around family, money, security, wealth. Others see you. So this is the King of Cups reversed. And this is a man who is falling out of love, not having success in love. Perhaps it could be a man who's creatively blocked, something like that. Positive feelings, the Tower reverse. So this is getting over a paradigm shift in your life and starting to pick up the pieces and rebuild. And then the outcome is the Emperor reversed. And this has to do with a man who is maybe either he could be abusing his power, he could be not stepping into his power, he could be out of alignment with his authority. The Emperor reversed can be a boss, a landlord, a husband, a president of the United States. And when it doesn't represent a person in your life, it can represent things like the patriarchy or the establishment or leadership of your city, country, whatever. So that is the end of the month, the Emperor reversed. And that's the tarot portion. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the October sky. We kick off the month of October with a full moon in Aries. This is a very passionate, fiery, intense full moon. This full moon is going to be igniting all of the other planets that are already in Aries, which we've experienced this through September, and it's it's heat, it's fiery, it's passionate, it's conflict, it's fighting, it's the police, it's the military, for the collective certainly, and in our personal lives it manifests depending on where it comes up in our charts and how it interacts with our personal planets. For Scorpio, that Aries full moon is happening in the 6th house, and that is the house of health. And so health-wise, Scorpio at this time could be prone to rashes, burns, scrapes, cuts, bruises. The Aries full moon illuminates things, so it might just illuminate something around your body or your health, but it can also cause heat or inflammation somehow in your body, in your physical body or health. And so that is something to watch for the full moon. It can also be a very emotional full moon, very passionate. It's conjunct Chiron, so that brings in elements of healing. But then it's also conjunct Eris and Lilith, which is, repressed rage or anger can come up with Lilith. And with Eris, it's also a very fierce kind of goddess energy. This full moon, I think, encourages activism and fighting the good fight, but we also want to be careful not to disperse our energies, unleashing anger or frustration in ways that are just a waste of energy, So that's the Aries full moon, and there really is so much I could say more about that full moon and in general about the first week of October, but I want to keep these videos moving. So I encourage you to call me for a transit reading for your own personal chart. That's really the best. And but other than that, also follow me on Instagram, where I'm going to do more regular updates about the transits. But I'm going to keep it moving here. October 2nd, Venus moves into Virgo. When Venus moves into Virgo in Scorpio's chart, Venus will be moving into your house of friends. Venus in Virgo is where Venus is in its detriment, in its fall. So I think that during this time you want to be mindful of not being too critical of your friends, maybe not holding your friends to too much of a perfectionist standard. This could be any of the women in your life too. This could also apply to sisters. And October 4th, Pluto goes direct. This is a super significant energy. Pluto's a very slow-moving planet, and so the effects tend to, have longer consequences as Pluto begins to move and continue to move through the sign. But this is the last of the 4 planets that have been kind of retrograde in Capricorn for a long time this year. Pallas Athene went direct first, September 5th, and then Jupiter, September 12th, Saturn, September 28th, 29th, and now Pluto on the 4th in October. All of this Capricorn energy that has been retrograde since May is going to start moving forward, and that's going to start to loosen up the energy in the house of communication for Scorpio. There may have been stopped up communication. This can also have to do with learning. It can have to do with school, meaning like elementary level, grammar level, high school level, whereas the 9th house is what we look to for university level and higher education. But, 3rd house issues can also have to do with things with your neighborhood, your local surroundings, your, people, places, and things that you experience in your day-to-day existence is the 3rd house. It's kind of like your beehive. So this has been a very electional year around that area, of course, and there have been things probably blocked up, or just you've been having to rethink, you've been having to recalibrate, you've been having to restructure, you've been having to reimagine, and it's been a very internal time where things couldn't move forward. And now with Pluto, these things are going to start to move forward. You might be feeling like you're getting some of your power back in that area of your life, slowly but surely. This isn't overnight, but this is a turning point energetically, certainly. October 7th, Mercury in Scorpio is forming an opposition with Uranus in Taurus. And for Scorpio, this is in your first house of self and in your 7th house of relationship. So there could be an argument or an opposition in the relationship at this time. Then October 9th, Mars forms a square with Pluto. And when Mars squares Pluto, this could be very explosive, this can be angry energy, it can be violent energy, certainly for the collective. In our own charts, it depends on where it is in our charts and how it aspects our personal planets, but in general, for Scorpio, it's bringing together your 6th house of health and your 3rd house of communication. So maybe there is communication around either your health or also your day-to-day routine or your workplace environment. It could also have to do with employees or the workplace. And there could be, a fight, a clash, a struggle. October 10th, Mars is sextile the North Node. I'm not going to talk about that so much. Venus is trine Uranus. For you, that's bringing together the house of friends and the house of relationships. This could be a pleasant surprise regarding friends, unexpected twist of events regarding friends, sisters, relationships, something like that. I'm going to skip over some of the other. October 11th, the sun is forming a square with Jupiter. This is a beautiful aspect. There's a real opportunity for growth here. This is going to be the 12th house for you and the 3rd house. So the house of hidden karma and the house of communication. October 13th, Mercury goes retrograde. Mercury is going to be retrograde starting out in the sign of Scorpio. So this is significant for Scorpio. So it starts out in your 1st house. Mercury retrograde can bring miscommunications. It can bring, errors. It can bring disruptions or mistakes regarding travel, schedules, anything that, accounting, numbers, things like that. And so again, it's in your 1st house of identity, it will back up into the 12th house for you of hidden karma, which, during that time, secrets can come out, information that you have somehow maybe put out of your mind or into the subconscious, things you haven't wanted to deal with could come up to be dealt with at this time. So, and then that retrograde stations direct election day. So for the collective, of course, this could be about mail getting lost, miscounts. It stations direct November 3rd. I'll talk more about that in my November videos, but basically it means that we're probably not going to find out who the president is the day of the election, because communication errors, backups, miscounts, things lost, things like that. But in general, the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio does have a bit of a cloak and dagger feel to it. And then the Mercury retrograde in Libra has a reversal of justice feel to it. Things aren't fair. And so that's happening. If you've been following me, you know that September 9th through November 13th is the hottest time of an already very intense year. And so October is right in the midst of that. And so, it's a tough month. October 16th is the new moon in Libra. New moons are a great time to set intentions that you want to manifest. The new moon of Libra is about marriage, it's about relationships, it's about art, it's about beauty, and it's about justice. It's about social justice. So as you set your intentions on your new moon for what you want to manifest in your personal life, we also have to think about what we want to manifest in terms of justice for our country, for our world, for our community. And so this is a very important new moon to set those intentions. It is up to us to dream and paint the future. The slate is being wiped clean this year in many ways. We are on a rocket ship to the future, and it's up to us to dream and for our consciousness to imagine what that future is going to be. And so that new moon squares Pluto, and it squares Saturn, and it opposes Mars. So there's a lot of fiery fighter energy in that new moon as well. And for Scorpio, that new moon shows up in your house of hidden karma, the unseen, your blind spots, your mental health, your solitude, your spirituality. All of these things are important to set intentions around during this new moon for Scorpio, on top of the Libra themes. And October 18th, Ceres goes direct. And for Scorpio, that's in your 4th house. So you're learning, not learning, but maybe cultivating, expressing, nurturing in unconventional, different ways, thinking out of the box, some ways to nurture within your home environment, and how you're allowing yourself to be nurtured, how you will nurture yourself within your home environment, because we're doing so much at home now. So October 22nd, and I'm skipping stuff, there's the Mars square Jupiter on October 19th, Venus trine Jupiter October 19th, and Mercury conjunct Uranus all October 19th. So October 19th is a major day to look at in a transit reading with me. Venus square the North Node on the 20th. On the 21st, Venus is trine Pluto. These are all really just magnificent, interesting, lot going on in October. Call me for a transit reading. October 22nd, the sun enters Scorpio, so it's your season, Scorpio, so happy birthday. And the solar return is a great time to treat yourself to a reading. I'm not just saying it as a pitch, I'm saying it because I really believe that it's a spiritual tool that's beneficial. And October 24th, Venus trine Saturn. Venus is very active throughout October. That is the planet of love and art and beauty and romance. Also justice. And so, if you have love questions going on, this is a good time to consult the stars and the tarot, because Venus is very active in October. October 27th, Venus moves into Libra, where she's exalted. So she's a lot better off in Libra. This is going to be, and Libra is usually this, is all about romance and beauty and art, and it still is in this context. However, because of all of the Capricorn cluster, and because of the Aries gang, Libra is forming a square to all those Capricorn planets and opposing Mars retrograde in Aries. So this Venus is more of the warrior princess Venus. She's also the lover Venus, but she's the warrior lover Venus. So, it's a dynamic time in the world. What can I say? And finally, one of the most dynamic aspects of the entire month is the full blue moon at the end of the month, the full blue moon in Taurus. And that's a Venus-ruled full moon. And it's also conjunct Uranus that's in Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus. Venus has major surprises for us in that blue moon. I mean, the term once in a blue moon, which is already just like once in a while. And of course, we're having a blue moon in October 2020 because, well, it's 2020. And conjunct Uranus. It's just, we can expect the unexpected. We can expect surprises of a Venusian nature, so surprises around women, around sisters, around justice, around art, around beauty. So it should be very exciting end of the month as we head into November. So thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful October. If you like this video, give me a like. Oh, by the way, Scorpio, that full moon in Taurus is in your house of relationships. It's in your 7th house. So it looks like there's a real surprise around Halloween. Okay, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video with other Scorpios. And yeah, talk to you soon, Scorpio.